Welcome. Today, we're going to unpack the incredible story of human communication. We're going on a whirlwind journey to see how we went from cave paintings and smoke signals to the device that's probably in your hand right this second.
So, let's kick things off with a question. Really think about it. Before you could just pull a phone out of your pocket, how did people get an urgent message to someone? The answer, well, it's not so simple, and it really opens up this amazing story of human creativity.
And as you can see, it has been a long and winding road. We're going to start with the very first human whispers and follow that thread all the way to the global network that connects all of us in the blink of an eye.
All right, let's start with the absolute basics. In Section 1, what even is communication? It sounds simple, right? But at its core, it's really all about one thing: the exchange of ideas and feelings.
But it's so much more than just swapping information. It's all about how we share our ideas and our feelings. That connection, that's the glue that builds relationships, cultures, and even entire societies.
Way before the written word, communication was a full-body experience. People used everything they had. Speaking, sure, but also dancing, singing, telling stories around the fire. Even their body language and the jewelry they wore sent a clear message about who they were and where they came from.
To really see this in action, let's turn to our first case study in Section 2, The First Voices. We're going to look at the incredible symbolic communication of the San people of southern Africa.
So the San, the first inhabitants of what we now call South Africa, were absolute master communicators. As hunter-gatherers, their survival literally depended on it, not just through their unique click-based language, but through this rich tapestry of symbols, songs, art, and dance.
And their legacy is so powerful. This phrase, Omklom, from the San language, means diverse people unite. Today, it serves as the official motto of modern South Africa, a direct, living link to its most ancient past. How cool is that?
Now take a look at this shell necklace. This was so much more than just decoration. By drilling and stringing these shells, they created a form of ID that instantly communicated the wearer's family group. It was literally a story you could wear around your neck. But what happens when the person you need to reach is, say, over the next mountain? That was the next huge challenge, which brings us to Section 3, Messages over Distances, from the first smoke signals to the organized post.
For centuries, sending a message a long way took some incredible ingenuity. You had smoke signals and drum beats in ancient times. Then came the carrier pigeon. Get this, the fastest messaging tech for centuries. Sailors would even leave letters under post stones in harbors, just hoping a ship going the right way would pick it up. It wasn't until the 1800s, with trains and postage stamps, that the system got a massive upgrade.
And isn't it amazing to think that this once revolutionary system is now what we call snail mail? It really just goes to show how quickly our definition of fast can change.
And the reason our definition of fast changed forever is right here in Section 4, the electrical revolution. This wasn't just an upgrade. This is when true instantaneous communication was finally born.
Two inventions completely rewrote the rules. The telegraph was incredible, sending coded messages across continents in minutes. But the telephone, that was like magic. It didn't just send information. For the very first time, it sent the actual sound of a human voice down the wires, allowing a real, personal conversation over huge distances.
This era also gave us the radio, which literally cut the cord and sent voices wirelessly through the air. And on the written front, we got the typewriter. Now here's a fantastic piece of trivia for you. The QWERTY keyboard you use today wasn't designed to be fast. It was designed to slow typists down, just enough to keep the mechanical keys from jamming. Crazy, right?
Okay, so now let's add our sense of sight to the mix. Section 5 is all about capturing reality, where we move beyond just text and sound into the power of images and broadcasting. And there is no greater example of this power than 1969. For the first time ever, television allowed millions of people all over the world to watch together in real time as humanity took its first steps on the moon. It was a shared experience on a scale that had never, ever been seen before.
Of course, this new power came with a new set of problems. Television brought live news and world-changing events right into our living rooms. But it also had its critics, who worried it discouraged self-research and promoted a more passive, inactive lifestyle. It was a tool that could connect us to the world, but also disconnect us from what was right in front of us.
And all of this leads us to our final chapter, Section 6, A Connected World. Welcome to the digital age.
3 key innovations basically launched us into this new era. First, the personal computer took processing power out of labs and put it into our homes. Then, the internet hooked all of those computers together, creating a worldwide web of information. And finally, the cell phone took that entire global network and crammed it into a device that fits in our pocket.
So, what's the result of this whole journey? Well, from the very first smoke signal to the satellite, our constant human drive to connect has effectively shrunk the globe, bringing us closer together than ever before.
This incredible journey, from symbols etched in rock to supercomputers in our hands, leaves us with one last question. We've conquered distance and time. So, what's the next great communication barrier for us to break?